Hi boys and girls, I have a great book for you today. It's called Wild Weather Soup, and I know we talked about weather and the things that we see outside our window every day. It's a really fun book all about weather and what goes when it gets wild and crazy, what happens. So we're going to read Wild Weather Soup. It's by Caroline Formby. Winifred Weathervane lived up in the clouds, where the air was always cold. But Winifred was much too busy making weather to worry about frost on the windows or icicles hanging from her ceiling. The gas fire in the kitchen kept her nice and warm while she prepared weather soup in her big black cauldron. So that's her name, Winifred Weathervane. And a weathervane is a special instrument used to tell wind and where the wind is going. Every day, Winifred squeezed rain for the rainforests in South America. And she baked hot, dry weather for the African savanna. She made mists for the mountains of Japan and winds to blow across the cold Atlantic Ocean. Sometimes Winifred whisks wispy little cirrus clouds for Paris and big fluffy cumulus clouds for London. And sometimes she made them the other way around. Whatever weather was needed, Winifred worked hard in her kitchen to make it. She froze snow for Alaska in the morning. She curried a hot spell of sunshine for India in the afternoon and fried a sunset for the Pacific Ocean before bedtime. Look how pretty. She's working really, really hard. But every so often, like the rest of us, Winifred would say to herself, I need a break. So one spring morning, she prepared to settle a spell. She blew bubbles of weather around the globe and left her home in the clouds for Australia. So she went on a vacation. Here she goes. It was warm and sunny on the beach as Winifred settled down for a nap in the shade of a big blue beach umbrella. As she snoozed, it grew hotter and hotter, much hotter than it should have done, and much hotter than Winifred had ever planned. Something was wrong with the weather. Oh dear, Winifred sighed. No rest for the wicked. I must go home and see what's the matter. But before she could move, a tremendous thunderclap flung out of her chair, and she flung out of her chair. Oh boy. An icy blizzard swept across the beach. Clutching the big blue beach umbrella, Winifred was carried on a jet of warm air straight up through wind and snow. Here she goes. She has to fix this. High above the clouds, where the air was calm and still again, Winifred set off to find her home. But where was she? North, south, east, or west? Wherever she looked, Winifred could see nothing but topsy-turvy weather. Here she is. Very disappointed. In the rainforest, it had stopped raining. And in the savannah, it was a huge muddy swamp. In the mountains of Japan, hurricanes were blowing, and in the Atlantic Ocean had almost disappeared under a blanket of fog. Tropical storms raged over London. Monsoon rains cascaded over Paris. Oh boy. It was baking hot in Alaska, and the ocean boiled and the glaciers were melting. Snow was falling on the Taj Mahal on India. Oh boy. So where it was supposed to be hot, it was cold, and where it was cold, it was hot. Then Winifred saw a big round hole in the ozone layer that protects the earth from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. She flew through the hole to find out what had caused it. So here she found a hole, so there was a problem. To Winifred's surprise, she landed with a bump in her very own kitchen. "Oh dear," she sighed, "I must have left the gas on again." The lid had blown off her pressure cooker. Quickly, to stop the weather getting any worse, Winifred turned off the gas. But her problems were not over yet. She still had to mend the hole in the ozone layer. Then Winifred remembered the big blue beach umbrella. It was just the right size and shape, and the very thing she said. As soon as Winifred had fixed the hole in the atmosphere, the weather began to settle. Aww. New clouds formed and drifted north and south, and west wind blew from the west, and the morning sun shone from the east. Everything was in balance again. Well done, Winifred. One good thing that came out of all of it, Winifred hitched her kitchen to a weather satellite high up above the clouds where she could look after the ozone layer whenever she needed. And she still takes a holiday now and again, but she tries to remember to switch off the gas. The world can do without any more wild weather soup. So I hope you enjoyed my wild weather story, and I hope you have a great day. Bye from Mrs. Salty.